Prince William has returned to royal duties in the UK while publicly condemning the rise of anti-Semitism. This was his message.
You've heard it from me, anti-Semitism has no place in society. I've said that before, I'll say it again. Hearing real, and we talk about it in your lived experiences. Both Catherine and I are extremely concerned about the rise of anti-Semitism and I'm just so sorry all of you that have had to experience that. It has no place and it shouldn't happen. So, that's why I'm here today, so I'm pretty sure that people do care.
The heir to the throne made the remarks while visiting a London synagogue, where he spent time with a 94-year-old Holocaust survivor. And his comments come as recorded cases of anti-Semitic incidents soar across the UK as the Israel-Hamas war rages on. Joel Burney from the Australia-Israel and Jewish Affairs Council has told Sky News anti-Semitism is on the rise. We are still seeing anti-Semitism take place around the world. Just last week, Jerry Seinfeld was targeted. Let's take a look. Joel, we're still seeing protesters make anti-Semitic chants. What's your sense on where we're at the moment? Are there signs that this is slowing down at all?
No, unfortunately not. I think it's picking up steam, and I'll tell you why it's picking up steam. It's picking up steam because they're allowed to do it, and they can do whatever they want. It appears as though that when there is a clash, where a violent and very loud pro-Palestinian group is accosting Jews, even in downtown Melbourne, saying horrific things. From all the video footage that I've seen, it's been the police that have been manhandling the Jews and removing them. So this takes leadership, Gabrielle. This takes leadership from the top. This takes leadership to call out anti-Semitism without conflating it with anything else, such as Islamophobia or other prejudices to minorities. Now, I want to make myself abundantly clear. Islamophobia is a problem in Australia, and there has been a statistical uptick in Islamophobia since the events of October 7. However, that pales in statistical comparison to the uptick of anti-Semitic attacks. So whilst you're addressing the major problem that we have on the streets of Australia, the disharmony within the Australian community, and when every time the government talks about tackling anti-Semitism, the next two words that come out of their mouths is and Islamophobia. And I think that this is a problem. So it takes the leadership from the top to say that we as Australians do not like this behaviour on our streets. We as Australians will push back against this behaviour on our streets. And we as Australians, and at the top through our enforcement agencies, will make sure that all Australians, including Jews, are free to be who they want to be and be free without the abuse that they receive on the streets. Now, I've had my daughter's school carnival late last year was moved from a public oval back behind their 8-foot-high walls. Security concerns. We've got kids that are taking off their Jewish symbols because they're afraid because they're being attacked. This is a problem that is getting worse and worse and worse. It's up to the enforcement authorities to understand exactly what the problem is, and also to understand that just because you have an unruly mob and that they may outnumber the amount of Jews, it is not appropriate to target the one or two Jews that got pushed to the ground and be called supporting genocide, to then pluck them out, physically remove them and say that they're the problem because they're breaching the peace. There needs to be a realignment with our leadership. It needs to come from the top, and there needs to be a better understanding from our enforcement agencies as to exactly what the problem is.
Prince William sparked controversy last week when he called for fighting in the Israel-Hamas war to end as soon as possible. Earlier this week, the Prince pulled out of attending a memorial service, citing a personal matter.
What we do know is we can read between the lines, and we know that this is a very significant event. So this was a memorial service for late King Constantine of Greece, and this was in St George's Chapel in Windsor Castle, just up the road from where Prince William lives, of course. The figure that was that the service was for, he was the first cousin once removed of the late Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip. He was as well William's godfather as well. So this was quite a significant figure. matter. This involved the royal family of Greece. We know that Prince William called the Greek royal family to let them know that he was unable to attend. We also know that there were various other figures from other royal families from Europe. Some members of the Spanish royal family were also there in St. George's Chapel as well. So we know that this was really quite a significant event for Prince William to miss. We know that he was due to partake in a reading in the order of service. It was a very last minute cancellation as well. It's been reported that it was only 45 minutes before the event that Prince William pulled out of this event. So, you know, this is a very significant event for him to pull out of. It was a very last minute decision, which signifies some urgency here. What we do know is that palace officials have been very insistent that the Princess of Wales's recovery is going well, that Princess Catherine, they very much implied that this wasn't due to Princess Catherine as well. So you know, there are questions being asked. The palace haven't been totally transparent. They have just said this is a personal matter. What we do know, also reading between the lines, and you know, this is pure speculation. This might have nothing to do with this, but it has been very widely reported that King Charles is very much starting to firm up his succession plans. And we know that succession planning wasn't due to start at least for another couple of years. So reading between the lines, there may be some urgency. There is definitely something going on. Something isn't right about this. And it's not necessarily due to Princess Catherine's condition. We know that she wasn't going to be seen in public until at least Easter, until probably at least April, if not May. We know that she had a very serious surgery. She was in hospital for 2 weeks. So we know her condition is serious enough, but the palace are saying that her recovery is going well. It's going very much to plan. That's what palace officials are saying. But this is a serious matter. This is not normal. This is almost unprecedented for a member of the royal family, a very senior member of the royal family, to pull out of an event like this with other significant public figures at the last minute, up to 45 minutes, under an hour before the event was due to start, when other European members of the royal family, other members of European royal families were there at the event. What we do know is that Her Majesty the Queen was actually leading the pack of royals at this event, so that might signify that the personal matter might not necessarily be due to His Majesty the King. We know that Prince William has 3 young children, so this could really be anything. The palace aren't going to comment about this specific matter. We know that Prince William is a private person living in the public eye, so they're being as transparent as they want to be. There is still lots of mystery here, but something isn't quite right.